Hey guys, so I learned something after setting the Flameboss up and doing a test run of it that I wanted to share with you. In the first video, I mentioned how the adapter left a little bit of play inside this door here when it's installed, and I'll show you what I mean here. I've added a modification here, and that's what this video is about. But if you recall in the previous video, you slide this thing down and you hook the fan in here, but there was a gap right along here, and I thought that would be fine, except I didn't realize that there was also a fairly large gap at the top because the plate wasn't sitting up flush against it. So what I did was I got some pieces of basically furniture felt, adhesive felt, that's about, I don't know, a little like over 1/8 of an inch thick. It's just enough to make this gap along the front of the door, top of the door, sit tight. So just to show you how it works, I'm just going to slide this in here and just go ahead and press it in there. And now it's a nice and tight fit. And as you can see, move this down a little bit more, you can see that there's no gap here anymore. This is straight up tight all the way around. And I just did 2 hours worth of testing to see if the Flameboss could keep temp, and I will post the graph of what that looked like. I was super impressed with how well the Flameboss was able to keep the temperature of my Kamado just pegged right where I wanted it. And so anyway, that's it. Just wanted to share this little follow-up and show you this little modification, because I think without it you're going to have a tough time maintaining temperatures, because there's quite a bit of air gap on the sides and mostly on the top. So hope that helps. Alright guys, so as promised, here's the graph of my test smoke here. This graph is part of the Flameboss app for iPhone, and this app is awesome. Usually with products like that aren't mass market, you find that the apps are really chintzy. I'm very impressed with this app. It works very well, at least in the first 2 hours that I used it. The blue line is the temperature at which I told the Flameboss I want my pit to be. The red line is the actual pit probe temperature, and the bottom green squiggly line is the fan performance, so as a percentage. So you can see the red line is well below the set temp at the beginning, because I had the pit boss on and probing the temperature before I actually lit my coals. So you can see about 1/8 of the way into the graph, you see my red line start jumping up, and you see the fan performance all the way up to 100%, and scaling back down as it hits to 225. It pegged 225 plus or minus 2 degrees for about, what was it, a little over an hour before I was satisfied that it was going to do that well, and then I wanted to play with it and see what it could do to take it up to 325. So I set the set temp, actually using my Apple Watch, because they have an Apple Watch complication that allows you to monitor temp and set temp through your Apple Watch, which is an amazing bonus. And so I set it up to 325. You can see the green squiggly line jumps up, and the pit temp follows about 13 minutes later. So I'm very impressed with what Flameboss has done with this product, and I can't wait to do my first cook.